I'm learning SQL for the first time. Let's go to it. Catalogs. SQL. My computer's a little laggy, but let's wait for it to load up. SQL courses. SQL is a standard relational data management language. We live in a data-driven world, and there are many businesses that store their information inside large relational databases. This makes SQL a great skill not only for data scientists and engineers, but for anyone wanting to be literate. Let's see. Tell me more. Uh, okay, let's see what they have. Intro to SQL. Use SQL to create access and update tables and data in relational database. Click on it and see what it gives. Let's start. All right, we starting it now. Let's get it. Got my tea and I got my water. Good. Good morning. Good morning, Robin. Good morning. I finally see your message. Good morning. How you been, Robin? If you can hear me, how you been? We learned SQL today, and I'm gonna show you what it stands for. We'll go to Google real quick. SQL stands Structured Query Language. I'm pretty sure it told us that already. Starting it now. Let's get it. Got my tea. Introduction to SQL. SQL Structured Query Language is a programming language designed to manage data structure in relational databases. SQL operates through simple declarative statements. This keeps data accurate and secure and helps maintain integrity of databases regardless of size. SQL language is widely used today across web frameworks, database applications. Now, SQL gives you the freedom to explore your data and the power to make better decisions By learning SQL, you will also learn concepts that apply to nearly every data storage system. The system covered in this course use SQL-led Relational Database Management System, RDBMS. You can also access at your glossary of all the SQL comments taught in this course. Let's begin. Enter an SQL command. Let's begin by entering SQL command in this code editor type select, see what it does. Select star from celebs. Let's run it. You here to learn, Robin? I hear you. So that worked. And that printout, that, what is this? Nah, I've never seen this before. It's my first time learning SQL. So I could have learned it in college, but I didn't finish college, so we're learning it now. See where to print in the console. Query results, database schema, celebs. Now that's fire. How you been, Robin? Though, how you been? How was vacation? Relational databases. Nice work. In one line of code, you return information from a relational database. Select star from celebs. Well, take a look at what this code means soon. For now, let's focus on what relational databases are and how they are organized. A relational database is a database that organizes information into one or more tables. Here, the relational database contains one table. A table is a collection of data organized into rows and columns. Tables are sometimes referred to as relational. Here, the table is celebs. A column is a set of data values of particular type. Here, ID, name, and age are the columns. A row is a single record in a table. The first row in the celebs table has an ID of 1, a name of Justin Bieber, and age of 29. All data stored in a relational database is a certain data type. Some of the most common data types are integer, positive or negative whole number, text, a text string, date formatted as year, month, date, the year, month, date, or day, real, that decimal value. Now that you have understanding of what relational databases are, let's take a closer look at SQL syntax. Let's go. Let's dive deep into the syntax. Let's get it. Oh, you still there? Mm. Now enjoy. Statements. The code below an SQL statement. A statement is the text that the database recognizes as a valid command. Statements always end in a semicolon. Create table underscore name, and it got the column 1, column 2, and column 3. Data type. So let's break down the components of a statement. Create table is a clause. Clauses perform specific tasks in SQL. By convention, clauses are written in capital letters. Clauses can also be referred to as commands in capital letters. Okay. Try to see it right here. An example, create table is in capital letters. table underscore name refers to the name of the table that the command is applied to. Let's look up here. Okay, it says refers to the name of the table that the command is applied to. Column data type, column 1 data type, column 2 data type, column 3 data type. It's a parameter. A parameter is a list of columns, data types, or values that are passed to a clause as an argument. Here, the parameter is a list of column names or associated data type. The structure of SQL statement vary. The number of lines used does not matter. A statement can be written in all of one line or split up across multiple lines if it makes it easier to read. In this course, you will become familiar with the structure of a common statement. Let's take a closer look at the statement we wrote before. In the code editor, type select run the code, observe the results, and ask yourself which part of the statement are clauses, what table are we applying the command to. Uncover the hint to review the answer and let's proceed to the next exercise. Which part of the statement are clauses? What table are we applying the command to? Let's look at the hint. Since I'm new to this, so select and from are the clauses here. We're applying the command to the celebs table. So when you learn more about each part of this statement. So select is the and from is the clause and the command is celebs. Celeb table. We are applying the command to the celebs table. Robin, I ain't gonna stay on too long. I'm just making a video on SQL. Me going through the process of it, me learning it. You know, I'm just tracking my journey on everything. So I'm learning JavaScript, C++, HTML, CSS. So we're gonna do that too. If you want to follow along, you can follow along too when I'm streaming, or you can look at my YouTube channel and stuff like that. So it's just me going through the process, me like learning, you know. create create statement allow us to create a new table in the database. You can use the create statement anytime you want to create a new table from the scratch. The statement below creates a new table named celebs. Create table celebs, ID integer, name tags, age integer. Create table is a clause that tells SQL you want to create a new table. Celebs is the name of the table. Okay, makes sense. ID integer, name, text, age integer is a list of parameters defining each column and attributes in a table in its database. ID is the first column in the table. It stores values and data type integer. Name is the second column in the table. It stores values and data type text. Age is the third column in the table. It stores values and data types integer. Now that you have good understanding of SQL, let's say we can create a new table. We clear the database from the previous exercise. Compare no celebs table exists by entering the following code editor. The database should be empty. Look at the result. The database should be empty. Now that we know the database is empty, let's create a new celebs table in the code editor. Code editor, create table. I think I don't think we gotta, I think we delete that. Let's see what happens. Create table. Remember all caps, celebs. Celebs is the name of the table. ID, integer. Integer, this is also caps too. Name, text. Age, integer. Let's see what happens. Create a table with the appropriate table. Okay, I think we got a pit. Let me see. That didn't work, so let's see. I think we're forgetting something. Hold on. Let's see what we're forgetting. Let's see if we're forgetting this. I could be right. Let's see. I think we do it like this. I could be wrong though. I know this. I know this. Even though this is my first time, I think I know this. So let's see if this works. We just trying out different things. Trying to follow out the examples. Let's see if this works. I'm doing something wrong. I just don't know what it is. Let's take this out. Let's see if that works. I think I got it now. Hold up. Robin. Are you streaming when you get back home? Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. I think I already tried this, but let's see. Now unless we know the database is empty, let's try to select from stubs. Trying to figure out what do I do. I notice let's see what this look like real quick. I just want to wrap my head around it real quick. So it's empty. I think I'll put this right here. Create table. Create. And I just put ID. Let's see if this works. Remember, we're new to this, but shouldn't be a problem with something that we're learning. We're going to be, maybe we're making a lot of mistakes trying to make this work. Now that we know the database is empty, it's empty. Let's create a new slabs type in the code editor type. Do I keep this up here? That's the question. It's empty. Do I keep that up there? There we go. Okay, I was putting curly braces instead of the parentheses. So that was pretty much self-explanatory. I knew it. It was just, yeah. I just copy and paste that right into this. So select times form celebs, semicolon, create table celebs, parentheses, I integer, name text, age integer. Remember these, the second letter, the name of the ID is capital. The name of the text is capital. The name of the age integer is capital. We learn how to review the table in a later exercise after we add some data to it. Okay, that took me a couple of minutes. It took me longer than what I expected, but we got the spirit of Christ, so we know all things through Him. Insert statement inserts a new row in a table. We can use an insert statement when you want to add new records. The statement below enters a record for Justin Bieber into the celebs table. Insert into celebs ID, name, age, values. One Justin Bieber 29. Insert into the clause that has a specified rows celebs in the table. The row is added to ID, name, age. The defined columns that data will be inserted into. Values in the clause that indicates the data being inserted. It's a pyramid that define the values being inserted. User that be added to the ID column. Justin Bieber, the text will be added to the name column. 29 integer will be added to the age column. I get it. We put single quotes because it's a string, right? Could be wrong. I'm kind of mixing up the other languages probably, but I'm learning. I just want to think. Let me see. It's supposed to tell me right here and here. Justin Bieber text will be added to the name column. Name column. Add the row to the table in the code editor. Insert into celebs. Name page values. Justin Bieber 29. It comes up ID, name, integer, text, integer. Now we gotta figure out why it's not coming up as one Justin Bieber 29. Gotta put a Justin Bieber for. Okay, we're gonna figure that out. It's gonna tell us what to do. Add 3 more celebrities to the table beneath your previous insert statement. Okay, should be easy. Insert into celebs ID, name, age. I just want to type it instead of copying and pasting because it helps me to remember what to do when I do it on my own. Beyonce. Even a copy and paste would be a lot easier, but I feel like I'm not learning anything when I copy and paste. So insert into celebs ID, name, age, values. 3 35 and 25. Insert into celebs ID name age values for Taylor Swift 33. See what happens here. Okay. Why is it still not coming up though? We inserted this. Oh, it's gonna tell me anyway. Look at the database and how many rows in a celebs table. Oh, it's 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Row 4. It says 4 now instead of just 1. Okay, let's go on. Select statements are used to fetch data from database, and statement below select returns all the data in the name column of the celebs table. Select name from celebs. Select is the clause that indicates the statement is in query. You use select every time you query data from the database. Name specifies the column and to query data from. From celebs, specify the name of the table to query the data from, and the statement data to query from the celebs table. You can also query data from all columns in a table with select from celebs. Star is a specified wildcard character we have been using. It allows you to select every column in the table without having to name each one individual. Here's the result. It contains every column in the celebs table. Select statement always return a new table. Quarterly result set. Let's take a closer look at the select and retrieve all the names in the table celebs. Okay, so we do select. I like Code Academy because it's very beginner friendly. I think C# is not beginner friendly, but C# is a whole different language, bro. It's crazy. C#, it's crazy. Okay, we got the 4 columns. Row 4, celebs. Well, we finally see the Justin Bieber, Beyonce, Jeremy, Taylor Swift, etc. That's cool. I like that. Select from previous select statement from the code editor to select all the data from data in the celebs table into the following statement of code enter using the character. Let's see. Oh, that's powerful. That's hot. Do alter. To alter table statement adds a new column to a table. You can use this command when you want to add columns to the table. The statement below adds a new column, Twitter underscore handle to the celebs table. Alter table celebs, add column, Twitter underscore handle text. Alter table is the clause that lets you make the specified change. Celebs is the name of the table that is being changed. Add column is the clause that lets you add a new column to the table. Twitter underscore handle is the name of the new column being added. Text is the data type for the new column. Null is a special value in SQL that represents missing or unknown data. Here the rows that existed before the column was added have no values for Twitter underscore name. Add a new column to the table in the code editor. Alter table. SQL is very beginner friendly. I can see that. Add column Twitter underscore handle text select from celebs. Now it's coming up Twitter handle. You see it? That's crazy. That's crazy. I like that. I'm very fascinated when it comes to learning and just technology in general. I'm so fascinated with it. I'm so fascinated with it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I have enough free time to do it. Update statement editor is a row and a table. You can use the update statement when you want to change existing records. The statement below updates the record with the ID value of 4 to have the Twitter underscore handle at Taylor Swift 13. Update celebs set Twitter underscore handle equals to Taylor Swift email where ID is equal to 4. Update is a clause that edits the row in a table. Celebs is the name of the table. Set is a clause that indicates a column to edit. Twitter underscore handle is a number column that is going to be updated. Taylor Swift email is a new value that's going to be inserted into the Twitter handle column. Where is a clause that indicates which rows to update the new column value. Here the row with a 4 in ID column and the row that will have the Twitter handle updated to that updated table to include Twitter handle to the code editor. Update celebs set Twitter underscore handle equals single quotes at Taylor Swift 13 where ID is equal to 4 select 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 from celebs. Yeah, that's powerful. Here you go, I see it. Taylor Swift 13, you see it right under the Twitter handle. Taylor Swift. I see it. We're going to do it for prior to each one. Oh, delete. It's also delete from statement deletes one or more rows from a table. You can use a statement when you want to delete existing records. The table below deletes all records in the cells. Celebs table with no Twitter handle. Delete from celebs with Twitter underscore handle is no. Delete from the clause that lets you delete rows from a table. Celebs is the name of the table we want to delete from rows. Delete rows from. Where's the clause that lets you select which rows you want to delete? Here you want to delete all rows where the Twitter handle column is null. Is the null condition as in SQL that returns true when the value is null and false otherwise. Delete all the rows that have a null value in the Twitter handle column in the code editor type following. They want to we going 40 minutes from celebs. I'm not in a rush, but I do not want to make the video that long. But if it does, it does. Twitter handle is no select from celebs. supposed to delete. It's supposed to be delete. Delete. Oh, stop hitting lowercase e and stuff like that. They deleted all the columns that had no besides Taylor Swift. That's fire. That's fire. Constraints. Constraints that add information about how the column can be used are invoked after specifying the data type for a column. They can be used to tell the database to reject inserted data that does not adhere to a certain restriction. The statement below sets constraints on a celebs table. Create celebs. Okay, okay. Primary key column can be used to uniquely identify the row. Attempts to insert a row with the identical value to a row already in the table will result in a constraint violation which will not allow you to insert the new row. Unique columns have a different value for every row, and this is similar to primary key, except a table can have many different unique columns. Not null columns have a value. Attempts to insert a row without value for a not null column result in a constraint violation, and the new row will not be inserted. Default columns take an additional argument that will be assumed value for the inserted row if the new row does not specify the value for that column. Create a new table that constraints on the values in the code editor. Create table awards brackets ID integer primary key recipient text not null award underscore name text default Grammy. I'm putting curly braces. Dang, that's what I did. Putting curly braces, supposed to be parentheses right here. Putting curly braces. Why am I putting curly braces? This language is definitely different from every other language. What else did I forget? Comma, pen, semicolon. Just got a comma. Okay. I used to pen semicolons in other languages. This one, I don't think you need semicolons. I think it's just commas instead. And instead of curly braces is parentheses instead. I didn't see any. Let's see. I'm not trying to talk too soon. I ain't trying to talk too soon. Review. Congratulations, we learned 6 commands commonly used to manage data stored in the relational database and how to set constraints on such data. What can we generalize so far? SQL is a programming language designed to manipulate and manage data stored in a relational database. A relational database is a database